This December, I will have been on YouTube for 10 years on this YouTube channel. And I want to do a top 10 things that I've learned in the last 10 years of being a YouTuber. In particular, the person I feel like I'm talking to in this video is me from 10 years ago. Here's the things that I wish I knew 10 years ago. So let's get into it. So if you are looking to get started on YouTube, the very first piece of advice that I have to give you that I would have given to myself 10 years ago is you just have to get started. The guys from Think Media say this all the time, you've just got to hit record. So thinking back to that time, I did do wedding videography and I had done some corporate videography projects, but I literally had no idea what I was doing when I was talking to the camera. I was using older technology as well, so a Canon 6D, which is a full frame camera, but it didn't have autofocus, so lots of my shots were blurry in the early days. If I had waited for things to be perfect, I would never have started. So don't wait, just start talking to the camera and start uploading to YouTube. The next thing that I've learned playing this YouTube game is that consistency is key. At the NAS Academy where I work, we like to say commit to consistency. And this is often seen on all social channels, so YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. So if you want to keep growing and keep building, then try to have a consistent schedule. Try to keep a content calendar. In the old days, oh my goodness. In the old days, what we used to say was try and post one video a week. Nowadays, you've got people on places like TikTok who are posting 2 or 3 times a day. I would say for a long form video, if you can make it good quality, try to stick to 1, maybe 2 a week if you've got the capacity, but keep that consistency going. The third thing that I've learned, particularly when you're starting out on YouTube, is that you need to engage in your community. Now, I don't mean just reply to comments on YouTube. What I mean is you need to be involved in the community for your niche. So for example, if your niche is in finance, then you need to be in the relevant Facebook groups, maybe even the relevant Discord or Reddit groups, and you need to be talking with those people who are knowledgeable around that subject so that you become an authority. What I often tell my students is don't spam Facebook groups with your videos, rather use that as an opportunity to find out what your audience is talking about, what questions they're asking, and make content around those specific questions. Once you're established as an authority and people know who you are, you might also mention that you make YouTube videos, and maybe then at that opportunity put a link to your channel. Number 4 is you don't need expensive gear. Nowadays, your phone will suffice. Don't think that you need the latest camera or the latest phone to start filming and putting content up onto YouTube. I know it's ironic for me to say that because I review a lot of Canon cameras, but I'll tell you now that there are YouTubers that I will watch who have like really old phones, but the content, the quality of what they're telling me, the information they're giving me is really useful. It's really good. So just get started, use what you have. And then what I would suggest is upgrade as you go. So once you've got a decent camera and a decent microphone, then start thinking about things like lighting and start thinking about studio spaces and upscaling your production from there. Remember, story is king, and also try to have a video format. So have a good hook or a good intro, then maybe offer a solution to a problem, and then have a call to action. If you follow that formula for most of your videos, there will be something useful there that people can use. Number 5 is embrace evolution. My channel has evolved over the years. So I started off trying to do events and how-tos for event videography to try and get clients for my event videography business. That evolved into more like reviews and then how-tos, tutorials, and I really enjoy those things, but recently I've also been trying other topics. Today, for example, is day 29 of October, so it's the 29th day of Vlogtober, and this is something that I've never done before, so I'm challenging myself, pushing the boat out there, and just trying to get out of my comfort zone to see if I can create something different and just to keep things fresh. Number 6, oh man, this one is tough. It's learn to deal with criticism. As soon as you put anything out there into the world, you are going to attract criticism. And I remember the very first time I got a negative comment on one of my YouTube videos, I was up all night thinking about how to reply. Something witty, maybe something sarcastic. And as time's gone by, I've learned to deal with that in a better way. But also, not every negative comment needs to be something that's an attack. You can take negative feedback and you can learn from it, and it then becomes constructive. So for example, I've had comments in the past on my background being too messy. It's still a little bit messy. I've had people give me feedback on maybe the quality of my microphone recently. I had bumped the levels up too much. In the past, the lighting was a bit too strong on one side. All of these things were really relevant for me to tone or dial back different styles. In the past, I've overdone it with the log footage and people have called me out on that. And I've learned to improve each one of my videos from that criticism. Now, of course, constructive criticism is different to people just attacking you. People just saying, hey, you're an idiot. Which does happen from time to time. Those types of comments you can, just delete. You don't have to reply. But I will say, if you're planning to start a YouTube channel, you need to grow thicker skin, and you need to and it needs to be like water off a duck's back, particularly as you start to grow. Lesson number 7 is tricky. It's don't chase the algorithm too much. We do need to chase the algorithm and follow trends from time to time, particularly if we want views, if we want the attention, if we want subscribers. We need to follow trends sometimes. One of the greatest pieces of advice that was given to me was by Daryl Eves at a small YouTubers meetup in London. And he said, don't try and start trends, follow trends. That's the quickest way that you can grow. But what I've also discovered in the last 10 years is if we're just constantly doing trends and constantly trying to copy people, we kind of lose our own creativity and our own originality to some degree. One method for this would be for every 5 videos you create 4 videos that you know will do well for your niche, your audience. And then the 5th video should be something that you want to create. Try it and then maybe mess around with that ratio a little bit to see how your content fares with your audience. Based on that, point number 8 is find your niche. This is something that's taken me a while. And even now, I feel like my niche is cameras and camera gear, more and more phone photography and phone videography. And I realized that niche is not going to last forever, because as we move away from cameras, perhaps more to phones, I don't know if that's going to take 5, 10, 20 years, but I do believe there's going to be a shift to a lot smaller, compact, video-capable devices. And the way that AI is going now, I literally have no idea how this landscape is going to fare in the next 5 or 10 years. So, and that's another reason why when I say define your niche or find your niche, also be adaptable, because we don't know what AI is going to bring and how it will change this whole concept of filmmaking, photography, visual creativity, vlogging, YouTube. All of this stuff is going to change. So along with finding your niche is be adaptable with your niche so that you can roll with the punches and change with the times. Point number 9 has to be the power of community. I didn't realize when I joined that there's quite a big community of YouTubers, but also and creators, but also people in your niche that are creating things on YouTube. And I've reached out to so many of these people who just have wonderful ideas and plans, and I've collaborated with a few of them in the past as well. It's people who share the same likes and interests. It's people that share your values, your niche. Also, if you connect with like-minded YouTubers, it's people that have put the work in. They understand the work. They understand the negativity. They understand the hustle and the grind, and the times when you're just creating and nobody cares, but they're carrying on and they're doing it anyway. Those are the type of people that when you connect with them, they're really like determined people. They're really resilient people. They're really value-driven people. And that's something to remember with your community as well, is don't just take that for granted. You have a community space, you have a space of creatives that you can tap into, and you share similar interests as well, which is massive. Finally, this piece of advice I give to all the students out there, and it's enjoy the process. If you do not enjoy what you are creating, it's very unlikely that you're going to continue creating that. So if you've created a YouTube channel to talk about crypto, but you're not that interested in crypto, then the likelihood of you continuing that channel is quite low. Also, if you're just focused on the views and the subs, then again, the motivation is really not in the right place. Unless you are, unless it's like a job and you're bankrolling. For me, YouTube isn't really like that. It's like a hobby. It's something that I do on the side. I've also been able to make a bit of passive income. If you want to know how much I've made in the last 10 years through Google AdSense on my YouTube channel, I'll leave a link to that video in the cards and in the description below. You can find out how much YouTube has paid me in 10 years. But if you're just focused on the metrics, it's going to be very difficult for you to find the motivation to keep going when times get tough. So that's 10 things that I learned in the last 10 years of being a YouTuber on the KaiCreative YouTube channel. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, don't forget to give us a like. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell button for notifications. This video is actually part of Vlogtober 2024. And it's been such an amazing journey to create a video every single day for the last 29 days. I've learned a lot. I'm going to break this down, I think, either at the end or in a future video. And I want to say, guys, a massive thank you to each and every one of you who have supported me, not just throughout Vlogtober, but for the last 10 years of YouTube. It's been truly amazing and literally life-changing in a lot of respects because of the opportunities that it's created. And with that said, I will see you tomorrow.